Weakers, tweakers, thrill freaking seekers, welcome back to another freaking hilarious episode of freaking Our Week in Review, freaking starring freaking WAYO, LGBT, WAYO, LP freaking Rochester, and it's on freaking WAYO, LP freaking Rochester, also freaking on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and freaking YouTube. We Weakers, tweakers, thrill freaking seekers, we are back. We took a freaking week off. Jeez Louise, we have a crazy couple of freaking 2 weeks to tell you about. With me to help explore and talk about those freaking stories and news and discussins is Doug Jordan to my left, and all the way via freaking satellite freaking New York, coming from Seattle freaking Washington, we got Sandy the Sandman freaking Farkas, Weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers, and the freaking panel. Start your freaking engines. This is Our Week in Review. Weakers, tweakers, thrill freaking seekers. We are so freaking hot and freaking right now, and we're so freaking hot and to be back with you. It's been a tough week. I find that I have difficulty going forward on my week without a nice time to reflect on freaking air live, as we always freaking do, and geez Louise, down on my knees. It just made the week all that much freaking harder and hotter and freaking Doug Jordan, you're back. How you doing? How you been? How freaking are you? And how was your freaking week?
Not too wish you wouldn't ask me that question anymore, as I state every week. But other than that, I've had a pretty good week. It was nice having the week off from the show, and then I also took the week off from Doug Knows Best. So just kind of focused on things around the house, watched a little preseason football, and had a good week.
Sandy the Sandman freaking Farkas, geez Louise, down on my knees. I know there's a lot been going on with you, and why don't you just go ahead and spill your freaking guts, your beans. By the end of this, I want your freaking guts and your beans, basically just everywhere, just all over this whole freaking studio.
This is freaking, this is Our Week, and this is freaking Sandy. This is freaking Sandy. And I'm freaking, I'm freaking drunk, and this is freaking Wayo.
Yep, and for Weakers and Tweakers that have been following the ever-changing freaking saga, the ongoing freaking saga here, geez Louise, down on my freaking knees, they know that there's a freaking radio war going on, the greatest radio war that has ever happened in the history of freaking the worst radio station in the history of the world, WLGBTQ freaking Wayo, and geez Louise, down on my freaking knees, it's also concerning a freaking very insidious, sick individual named a freaking Evan Dawson, who's some of the things he's done, I can't even freaking say on the freaking air because it's so freaking insidious, and geez Louise, the FCC would totally freaking find me if I freaking said that. Sandy, how is the war front on the freaking West Coast going for you, and freaking how are you?
First things first, freaking is the freaking Dickens. Freaking is the Dickens and freaking drunk as hell. As far as the freaking the freaking great radio war is concerned, lots of freaking developments, lots of freaking developments, lots of freaking issues, and I'm having the freaking time of my freaking life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please don't freaking interrupt me. Last week, please just shut. Just don't do it.
You won't hear another freaking word from me. I promise you that.
For freaking Weakers and Tweakers who might remember the last freaking installment, last development that happened as far as the Great Radio War is concerned was that I went ahead and I freaking broke into my co-host Dick's office at the freaking radio station that we both work at, and I freaking stole every freaking document I could and his freaking hard drive, which I later spilled freaking beer on and broke. But after having that freaking discussion with you on the radio, I said I gotta freaking cover my tracks a little bit. Yeah. Because if he got hit at home, I covered my tracks by stealing his wife's freaking jewelry, so it looked like it was just a freaking home invasion. But if he's getting hit at work, boy oh boy, it's gonna look like it's something a little bit more freaking personal. So I had to take this freaking war one step freaking further.
And you've been wearing the freaking jewelry.
I didn't put a freaking earring in, but that is neither freaking here nor there. But basically what I had to do, and it's interesting to me that that's what you would think of when I said I had to take the war one step further, is that I decided to wear freaking jewelry. Again, neither freaking here nor there. What I did was I robbed the whole freaking radio station. Every single freaking office in there. And before I did that, you know what I freaking did? Stole the freaking keys off the security guy and broke in and stole all the freaking hard drives that are attached to all the freaking security cameras in the whole freaking radio station.
And have you watched the freaking footage? And have you found any freaking doctored footage?
Didn't even. I gotta tell you, didn't even freaking think to do that.
Yeah, we need to get those freaking tapes, and we need to send them to a weaker, tweaker, thrill seeker who has time to freaking review them. We need to get those freaking tapes.
So basically, well, go ahead. Yeah, Doug,
well, I was
sorry.
gonna. I mean, you broke in the radio station, and you stole a bunch of documents from the radio station. Did you find anything that might have or was tied to Evan Dawson?
I haven't even read just even a freaking sentence of any of these freaking documents. Mostly I was stealing freaking hard drives, computers, things of freaking value, again, some freaking jewelry, one guy's freaking wallet. Basically, I'm just freaking covering my tracks here, Doug.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it sounds like to me you're just kind of stealing and you don't really care about the Great Radio War.
Well, Doug, I mean, if the thing about it is that if freaking Dawson gets his hands, if they freaking find out that I'm the one freaking doing this, I'm playing right into freaking Dawson's freaking hand.
Yeah. Dawson has had us pegged from freaking day one.
If they find out I'm the one in behind all these freaking robberies, then freaking Dawson wins because I go to freaking jail.
Well, I mean, you're confessing to it on the radio that you are the one behind all these robberies.
Which is why we got to break into Whale and get these freaking tapes.
Yeah.
And maybe a couple other things too, so it doesn't look like we're up to something, you know?
Yeah, well, see, I mean, the thing about it is that the station brass have basically got their fingers grasped tightly around my balls, and they came down on me freaking hard. And geez Louise, down on my knees. I can't make a move without them freaking watching me. I can't make a freaking move without the freaking group home staff watching me. And geez Louise, down on my knees. Weakers, tweakers, I need to tell you why we weren't here last week. And it is because they have brought the freaking hand of God down on me. And they made me and freaking Arnold, my freaking arsonist, silent freaking partner in crime, who I'm not even sure freaking likes me anymore because he doesn't say a freaking word and I get nothing from him. They made us attend a freaking fire safety freaking seminar. And I said, I didn't even freaking do anything. I just all I did was give Arnold a pack of freaking matches. And geez Louise, down on my knees, they said that was rule number 1 that you freaking broke. Never give a pack of freaking matches to a freaking arsonist. And I almost freaking spilled the beans on our freaking plan, which was to have him go to burn down freaking radios, to burn down freaking Evan Dawson's freaking apartment, and to freaking burn down, geez Louise, down on my freaking knees, WXXI building, and the freaking Wayo offices.
And my freaking radio station out here in freaking Seattle. Him and Doug Jordan are going to freaking take a trip out here to freaking burn that place to the freaking ground.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Oh, first of all, I never agreed to that, and second of all, I don't think that's going to be likely now that they have to attend some sort of a fire safety seminar.
We already did it. We washed our hands of
Doug,
it.
Freaking Taylor can't freaking come out to freaking Seattle. He's not allowed to leave the freaking state, so it's got to be freaking you.
Yeah, but I mean, Arnold's got to do the seminar too, right? Or was it
we
just
already
you?
freaking did it, and it took about 35 minutes, and there were freaking sandwiches and cookies at the end. Not actually at the seminar, but it was at the freaking group home. It was just pretty much a normal freaking lunch. And geez Louise, down on my knees, I wanted to say this. During all of this great radio freaking war, I have found something that I have been freaking missing. And I have... For weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers, I want to say it here on the freaking air. I have rekindled a freaking love affair. Doug Jordan, can you guess
what your love affair is?
Yeah.
Maybe the you in the mirror, that whole thing? No.
That'd be freaking hilarious, though. I have rekindled my freaking love affair with the freaking egg salad freaking sandwich.
I freaking knew it. I knew that was what you freaking rekindled your freaking love affair for.
Yeah. I've been freaking making so much freaking egg salad. They've actually asked me to freaking stop. They say, Taylor, I know that you're trying to freaking help, and you think of yourself as something more than just a guest in this house, because I try to, all the freaking staff wears freaking lanyards. And I said, you guys got to get me a freaking lanyard. that says kitchen helper or something like that. And they say, you are just a guest in this house and you are actually remitted to stay here as per your court-ordered psychiatric evaluation. And then they told me something even more interesting. They said to me, geez Louise, down my freaking knees, they said, all you'd have to do, Taylor, is admit to what you did and you can go freaking free. And I looked him right in the eyes and I said, I know you guys are freaking trying to trick me. I didn't do a freaking thing. And they said, we have camera footage, double jeopardy. You can't be freaking accused freaking twice. And I said, accuse me once, shame on me. Accuse me twice, can't get accused again. So I'm not freaking admitting to nothing. And but I've been making all this freaking egg salad. It's freaking absolutely freaking delicious. And we're going through a lot of freaking mayonnaise, through a lot of freaking eggs. I'm thinking about getting some freaking chickens because, geez Louise, down on my knees. I read Jack and the Beanstalk during freaking family hour at the group freaking home. And it got me thinking I could get a freaking chicken. And the most golden egg of all time is just a plain old freaking egg when you freaking boil it and then mix it with a ton of freaking mayonnaise. And that's it. And then you mash it up and you put it on freaking bread, or you can just eat it with a freaking spoon. 2-to-1 freaking ratio. 2 part mayo, 1 part freaking hard-boiled eggs. I like to make a lot at once.
Have you shared any of your egg salad with your roommates?
They won't freaking touch it. They say there's too much freaking mayo. Either way, all's well that freaking ends well on that freaking front. The Great Radio War freaking continues.
Wait a minute. I got a freaking idea.
Yeah.
All right. You mentioning the freaking thing about the lanyards, that got me freaking thinking. If we get freaking, all we need to do is get freaking Arnold a freaking lanyard, and he can freaking slip into WXXI willy nilly and freaking set the place a freaking blaze. I can get him a freaking lanyard for my freaking radio station out here in freaking Seattle. Freaking Doug, you're gonna have to break into WXXI, get him a freaking lanyard, get the guy in there, freaking let him freaking set it ablaze. And then that's a perfect freaking, he's the perfect guy to get freaking interrogated, because you get freaking 2 detectives sitting across from him, asking him all sorts of questions, and he's never gonna freaking incriminate us. He's never gonna say a freaking word.
Yeah, I can get him a freaking lanyard from my freaking group home, and I'll put it right on him, and then we'll just send him right in there. And I can get him a clipboard.
There's a couple things I want to address here. One is
Go for it.
I don't think that a lanyard is...
This is your freaking chance to speak. Go ahead.
A lanyard is not the end-all, be-all of security for
What are you
buildings.
saying here, Doug? What are you saying here?
I mean, I'm sure there's some sort of a card that needs to be attached to the lanyard, or maybe some sort of a fingerprint recognition software that they use to get in
Arnold
and
doesn't
out.
Arnold doesn't have any freaking fingerprints. His fingerprints were melted off long freaking ago. You got no fingerprints. I'm surprised I forgot to freaking mention that. His fingers just look like red little freaking ping pong paddles at the end. They're flat and they bulge out, and it's one of the weirdest freaking things you ever seen. So that's not gonna freaking work if he needs a fingerprint. But is it possible that we cut off somebody's finger from freaking eye, and then we put that on his finger, or we just put that on the freaking lanyard?
Or we could find my freaking finger that got cut off and freaking mail that to freaking Arnold. We'll use that. Good. You think that a freaking...
That's a good freaking idea.
Well, I mean, I think your fingerprint needs to be in the database to work for the door.
All right, so we got to freaking hack into the freaking database and freaking get my freaking fingerprint on freaking record, and then we'll get I'll go back down to freaking Texas, get my freaking finger, send it to freaking you'll freaking use it, get the freaking lanyard to freaking Arnold, and he'll freaking set that place ablaze. And we freaking win.
Yeah. And when this is all freaking over, you guys stop by the freaking group home, we'll all have freaking egg salad sandwiches.
Heck, I might even come freaking visit.
Well, okay.
Freaking celebrate.
What about this? I mean, I don't want to be an accomplice in this in any way, but I mean, the guy doesn't necessarily have to be inside the building to light it on fire. He could be outside of it. He could be on top of it.
They would have planned for that, Doug. He needs to go through the freaking air duct vents. And he needs a lot of freaking gas, because he needs to get to the center where they hide all their freaking documents and all their freaking tapes.
And he's going to need to be quiet, because he's going to have a freaking lot of gas, too.
And you know that freaking Dawson is going to be locked up in a freaking holding tank, safe freaking room, because they treat him like a freaking king over there. He's their star freaking boy.
Once the freaking alarms start going off, they put him in the freaking panic room.
Yeah.
Okay, well, all right, well...
And he freaking touches himself in the freaking panic room, I hear.
My next question.
Go ahead. But he's in there freaking playing with himself.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But my next question is, a lot of these places have the cloud-based storage. So even if you're destroying the hard drives or anything like that, they probably still got it on the freaking cloud.
Doug, this is about freaking Evan Dawson. I don't know.
Yeah, but they probably back up most of their stuff to the freaking cloud. And then the hard drives don't really mean anything.
I'm not freaking following you at all.
Yeah,
this is a freaking radio war.
I mean, even if you burn down the building and destroy whatever evidence you want to destroy, I mean, there's probably still a backup in some Google Drive.
There's going to be a big freaking cloud of smoke when
Yeah,
the
Doug,
freaking building burns down with the document.
Doug, why are you so freaking hung up on freaking evidence? This is about freaking Dawson and freaking documents.
Well,
we're at war here, Doug.
I'm just trying. I just don't want anybody to do anything that brash or anything that can get them in freaking trouble for a long time.
Here's the thing, freaking Doug. Dawson freaking cast the first freaking stone, and this is just a freaking retaliation measure. And if we don't do this, he's gonna laugh in our freaking faces. He's already talking about us every day on his freaking show. For Weakers and Tweakers out there, it's not a weekly freaking show. He broadcasts every freaking day of the week except the freaking weekends. Man, he bores the daylights out of people for 2 hours a freaking day, freaking basically taunting us, saying cryptic freaking messages, tweeting out cryptic tweets. Jeez Louise, down on my knees. It's time to get those freaking documents and to get those freaking tapes destroyed. Because otherwise, the freaking cat's out of the bag, and he's got us. He's got us by the freaking balls.
He's got us right where he freaking wants us. And the thing is, we got to cut the freaking power off right at the freaking source. And guess what? Yep, it's freaking Dawson.
Yeah,
okay.
Always has been.
I'm not denying that there isn't some form of a great radio war. I think that you guys are right in saying that. I'm just saying, just burning down the place isn't probably going to do enough. I think
if he freaking.
I mean, if we were talking about getting a hacker for the fingerprint scanning recognition, maybe we need a freaking hacker to handle the freaking clouds.
What we need is a freaking inside guy, and I'm pretty sure freaking Tadia Risher is actually the freaking inside guy when it comes to freaking us. Which is what you guys told me 2 weeks ago, is that freaking Tadia freaking Risher is working for freaking Dawson, and maybe we need to get him back in town with a bunch of freaking homeless freaking bums, and that he can have freaking sex with, that want to have freaking sex with him in a group sex type scenario, and we can turn him and we can flip him, and then we'll have freaking Dawson, because he'll be in our freaking pockets. Does that make freaking sense?
No, it's the exact opposite of what we told you last week.
We think that, we told you last week, we think freaking Tadia is in on it with freaking Evan Dawson. He got all the freaking information on us that he freaking wanted to, and then he went freaking right back to freaking daddy.
Yeah, for Weakers, Tweakers, and especially freaking Tadia freaking Risher, Jeez Louise, down on my knees, if you could go ahead and call 513-914-6201, that is the R Week hotline. We need you to call in, Tadia, and we need to clear your freaking name, because as per freaking usual, Doug Jordan is just raking it through the freaking muck.
Well,
and
it's not
you
just
have
me.
you have the most beautiful name I've ever heard in my freaking life. Tadia is like a clarinet, and being played by a chimney sweep. It's so beautiful, and I don't want him to soil your good freaking name or your good freaking bottom, if you know what I mean. All right, Doug Jordan, I was going to ask you about the NFL season opener, which just freaking happened, but I honestly don't freaking care anymore. What I do want to ask you about is, do you got any plans for freaking 9/11? Because that's coming up, and geez Louise, down on my freaking knees. It's a big freaking holiday. Well, it's a big freaking day of remembrance, and I thought maybe you could throw another freaking barbecue, because I'm getting sick and tired of freaking hanging out with freaking crazy people in the freaking group home. And I would love to come over to one of your freaking hilarious barbecues and spend the freaking night just reminiscing about the freaking show. Maybe freaking Sandy the Sandman freaking Farkas could come by on a freaking overnight.
I wouldn't freaking miss it for the world.
Yeah.
I'll get on a freaking plane right now if you're having a freaking barbecue.
Weakers, Tweakers, you freaking heard it first. Doug Jordan 9/11 freaking barbecue happening. That's happening, going to be happening on freaking Wednesday this freaking month on the 11th, which is just a couple of days of freaking way. So, Doug Jordan will be hosting a freaking 9/11 barbecue full of freaking fireworks, remembrance songs. We'll be playing music by Bruce freaking Springsteen and by freaking YouTube. Tube, and we'll be playing freaking songs by the freaking Creedence and freaking Creed, and we're gonna be having hot dogs, hamburgers, and all sorts of freaking great freaking barbecue food. I'll be bringing the freaking egg salad. Weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers, call 513-914-6201 if you want to attend, and we'll give you more freaking information. We're gonna be tweeting it out all freaking week long for the next day or two until the freaking barbecue. Doug Jordan, your gracious freaking host, is reprising his freaking role, and freaking, yep, you guessed it, freaking Sandy the Sandman freaking Farkas will be freaking attending 9/11 freaking barbecue.
Wouldn't freaking miss it for the world.
Yeah.
And Wiggers and Tweakers and freaking thrill seekers, all the usual guys are going to be there. Freaking, we're talking freaking Soon Jay. We're talking about freaking Stu Gotts. We're talking about freaking Tadia Richer, probably, maybe. We're talking about. Those guys are going to freaking be there. Doug's freaking wife.
I'll freaking bring Arnold because I'm sure he'll be fascinated by all the freaking fireworks that freaking Sandy brings. And geez Louise, down on my knees. Maybe I'll bring some other group home friends. It's going to be a freaking blast. Weakers, tweakers, you do not want to miss this freaking party.
Maybe I'll bring freaking Dick. Maybe he'll want to freaking go. I freaking doubt it. I don't think he freaking likes me. I would have brought Dave, but he freaking died.
Doug freaking Jr. will be there. Doug's wife will freaking be there, and she's a freaking heck of a looker. We'll invite freaking Doug's boss from work so that he can be there and enjoying the freaking festivities. Geez Louise, down my knees is going to be great.
Also, if you're freaking under 21, doesn't freaking matter. Come on down. We don't freaking. It's never been a freaking issue before. There's gonna be plenty to freaking drink, plenty to freaking smoke. It hasn't never been a freaking issue before. Come on down, all ages freaking included.
Yeah, and he's got a freaking pool. It's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, well, I don't have a freaking pool.
Well, we're gonna freaking dig a freaking pool in your backyard before. We got a couple of days we can plan all this out.
I'd really like if you didn't do that, and also I'm not gonna have a barbecue on freaking 9/11. So.
Well, you sure are, Doug.
Yeah, because you just said you freaking were. And first of all, you're going to turn away the freaking, the great people of this freaking country on a day they need you freaking most. On the day of the anniversary of the freaking towers that fell in 2001. And I remember that day because it's in infamy.
Yeah.
And geez Louise, down on my knees, we have to stand freaking together on that freaking day.
I mean, but no, okay. I think it's too early to start having freaking celebrations on freaking 9/11.
It's a remembrance barbecue.
Yeah, but, do people have freaking barbecues for freaking the anniversary of freaking...
D-Day?
Yeah, D-Day?
Yeah.
We should. Yeah, we should figure out what day that is. Have another freaking barbecue.
And honestly, none of that even really freaking bothers me. It's the fact that it's on a freaking Wednesday and I have to freaking work the next day. So I'd rather not have a barbecue on a Wednesday.
Weakers, tweakers, you freaking heard it first. The barbecue will be held 9/11 barbecue, pit barbecue. Geez Louise, down on my knees. There's going to be swimming. There's going to be wet t-shirt contests. I'm sure there'll be a big freaking bonfire because I am going to bring Arnold. There will be fireworks and there'll be drinking, smoking, anything your freaking heart's desires. Weakers, tweakers, you're not going to want to miss this.
Yeah, and if you're not convinced yet, just know this. Last time I went to one of these freaking barbecues, I got freaking laid.
Yep. And we're not even sure who that is, but it might have been Tadia's girlfriend. Weakers, tweakers, we're going into our week's news and discussins. We got great news, views, discussins to share with you. If you want to join in the conversation, call 513-914-6201. That is the Our Week hotline. Tell us what we're doing right. Tell us what we're freaking doing wrong. Tell us how we could freaking improve. And if you do, you might get put on freaking blast. You also be played live on the freaking air. Last week, clothing brand Dior landed in hot water for an ad campaign promoting their newest fragrance, Sauvage, one that featured a guitar-playing Jonny Depp in the video, according to NBC News. The fashion giant has been accused of cultural appropriation after they released a promotional video for their latest fragrance with a Native American dancer in full feathered headdress. With the cologne's namesake, Sauvage, presumably making a fanciful reference to the word savage, critics took issue with the brand's reference to outdated caricatures of indigenous people. According to Fox News, Dior has since removed the ads after the outcry and released a statement from the Americans for Indian Opportunity. And I was supposed to put that statement in there, but I forgot, so... Doug Jordan, what is your favorite freaking Jonny Depp movie? And geez Louise, down on my knees, what's also your favorite fragrance?
Yeah.
Start the first Depp first, then fragrance.
Okay, favorite Johnny Depp movie would probably be Pirates of the Caribbean, hands down. One of his freaking best roles. And then favorite fragrance, I don't know, Axe body spray.
See, Pirates of the Caribbean makes sense because you sell fish, and I was gonna say your favorite fragrance is probably the smell of fish because that's what you freaking smell like right freaking now because you work at a freaking fish market as a fish distributor. Saying to Sandman freaking Farkas, what's your favorite freaking Johnny Depp movie and your favorite fragrance?
My freaking favorite fragrance is definitely freaking fish. As you all know, I was a freaking regular down at the freaking Fisherman's Wharf, and I gotta tell you, I'm a little jealous of freaking Doug Jordan for always getting to hang out down there with all the old freaking boys, all my freaking old friends. Favorite freaking Johnny Depp movie? Who's eating freaking Gilbert Grape? Big old freaking honestly, God, freaking fattest woman I ever seen in my life. Looks a little bit like freaking Jonah Hill.
And spoiler alert, freaking his freaking mom is the one that's freaking eating him because she's so big and fat.
And freaking spoiler alert, it is freaking Jonah Hill.
Yeah, Jonah Hill in a wig and nothing else, not even using makeup. That's just what he looked like back then.
When you asked about fragrance, I thought you were talking about like a cologne or something. I didn't know you could just say fish or anything else.
Well, I mean,
freaking smell, Doug.
Fragrance just means smell.
Well, okay. Well, can I change my answer?
Yeah.
Better not be a freaking fish.
Freshly baked pie.
Like
an apple
pie. The one that the freaking kid has sex with in freaking American Pie.
Yeah, that's what I was freaking think of. Yeah, for Weakers and Tweakers out there, spoiler alert, he puts his freaking in the freaking pie basically at the advice of freaking, yep, you guessed it, his dad, Eugene freaking Levy. Absolutely freaking hilarious. And hopefully they're going to make another one of those coming up soon, but only time will freaking tell. I'm going to go ahead and say my freaking favorite freaking scent, favorite freaking fragrance, boiling freaking eggs, and my favorite freaking Johnny Depp movie is freaking Rango with freaking Gilbert Grape as a close freaking second. I love that he plays a mentally challenged guy in that one with a big fat mom, and it's absolutely freaking hilarious.
My favorite part. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
My favorite freaking part is when he falls off the freaking water tower.
Yeah.
Freaking dies.
Yeah. And then they put the paddles on him. They wake him back up, and he goes, "Oh, having a big fat mom was all a dream." And then they take him back to his house, and he goes, "Oh nope, she's still freaking fat, and she's still trying to eat me."
And then he thinks he's freaking jumping on a trampoline. He realizes he's just jumping on his freaking mom's freaking belly at his freaking birthday party.
It's a freaking bounce house. Last week, John Travolta's film career hit a new low as the movie star's latest release, The Fanatic, was unanimously panned by critics, according to The Hollywood Reporter. The Fanatic, a stalker thriller directed by former Limp Bizkit frontman Fred Durst, is Travolta's lowest-grossing film in the actor's history and marks the actor's fourth box office bomb in a row. Preceding the actor's latest dud, Killing Season 2013, In the Valley of Violence 2016, and Gotti 2018, all movies saw abysmal box office sales. Travolta hasn't had a hit since the 2017 release of music comedy Hairspray.
So it said 2007.
What did I say?
You said 2017.
Weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers. Thank God we have freaking Doug Jordan to tell us the last time freaking Travolta had a freaking hit. It was the Stone Ages back then, basically. Saying to Sandman Farkas, what is going on with freaking John the hilarious freaking fat guy Travolta, and why can't he make a freaking hit movie anymore when he was so freaking great in all of his other movies that he was in?
The thing about freaking Travolta, and I'm a freaking huge Travolta fan, is that in his don't ever. The thing about freaking Travolta is that in his younger freaking days, the man freaking absolutely freaking oozed freaking sexuality.
Yeah.
It was freaking palpable. You could freaking cut it with a knife. You could freaking, he would come on freaking screen and he'd start doing his freaking dance or some of that weird stuff he does with his fingers in freaking Pulp Fiction, and you freaking start freaking salivating. Your freaking tongue rolls out like a freaking cartoon dog, and you start freaking panting, and all of a sudden you realize you're freaking sweating.
Yeah, and you can't do it anymore.
Yeah, and now he's just a freaking fat, ugly old bald man.
For Weakers and Tweakers who haven't seen a photo of him in freaking Fred Durst's The Freaking Fanatic, I highly recommend Google searching it. It is absolutely freaking hilarious. Doug Jordan, why don't you pick that up, pull that up, and then you can describe it for listeners out there who don't feel like freaking Googling it. Jeez Louise, down on my knees. My favorite freaking Travolta freaking movie was a movie called Freaking Phenomenal, and it was freaking phenomenal. And it's about a guy who has wizard powers in his fingertips where he can move things with his mind, and he can read all sorts of books real freaking fast, and he can basically tell you when the sun's going down and if it's going to start to storm. He can also find missing children in the woods, and he's a great lovemaker as well to his girlfriend, and it is so freaking hilarious. Doug Jordan, you got that freaking picture up yet, or?
Yeah, I got the picture from the movie right here.
Describe for Weakers, Tweakers, Thrill Seekers, and the freaking panel what he looks like in it.
So he's got kind of like a monk haircut thing that's going on in the freaking front, and he's got hair in the freaking back of his head, kind of like a mullet, and then he's wearing glasses, and he's got a freaking beard. Oh, and his hair is freaking gray now. He's wearing a Hawaiian shirt and plaid shorts, and it looks like he carries a freaking backpack for the entirety of the movie.
So basically what you're saying is he looks like he's has some sort of mental disability. Is that what you're implying?
No, I was just a
man-child of sorts.
Yeah, I would say something like that, I guess.
So I've seen a lot of freaking guys in the freaking group home look just like this guy. He's got a freaking bowl cut, is what Doug Jordan was trying to say, and apparently and he just showed me a picture of him. Let me see this. He just showed me a picture of him where his eye's freaking bleeding in one of the scenes. Oh, it's not a bowl cut, it's a freaking mullet.
Yeah, but the top is like a monk haircut. It's not necessarily a mullet.
And describe his body for Weakers and Tweakers, and describe what he would look like when he took his clothes off in detail, please.
Well, because he's older now and he's stockier. The shirt he's wearing is pretty loose fit, so I'm assuming if he took the shirt off, there would be some sort of a sag underneath there, maybe a gut protruding just ever so slightly, and. Yeah.
This movie's got freaking Devon Sawa in it.
Oh, Devon, for Weakers and Tweakers, yep, you guessed it, freaking Devon Sawa is back. This is going to be his freaking role of his freaking lifetime. He hasn't been in a freaking movie since he played freaking Casper, the friendly freaking ghost, and he was absolutely freaking hilarious in that.
He was freaking hilarious in that. I love when as a ghost he freaking started to have freaking sex.
Yeah. Well, because he's just flying around, basically touching himself the whole freaking movie.
Yeah, you know that the other like wispy little bottom part. I was when I saw that, I was like, "There's no freaking question. That's his freaking."
Yeah. So freaking Devon, if you like movies with freaking Devon Sawa's dangly hanging out and freaking hilarious bowl cunts in the front and mullets in the back and flabby body parts, yep, that's your freaking movie. If you like movie that's way better than that, maybe check out freaking Face Off. But we can't tell you go see it because it's not in freaking theaters. Last week, doctors in Britain asserted that a teen became partially blind due to a diet consisting only of French fries, chips, and the occasional slice of ham, according to USA Today. Reports show that the boy had been treated for health problems related to his poor diet since the age of 14. The boy's primary care physician prescribed him B12 injections and revised his dietary plan, but the teen neglected to stick with his doctor's recommendation. At 15, the boy began experiencing hearing loss, though doctors found no structural damage. The self-described fussy eater began to lose vision over the next 2 years, and he now meets the criteria for legally blind status. Jeez Louise, down on my knees. Doug Jordan, how worried do we have to be about freaking dieting poorly in this freaking country, and are we all going to go freaking blind, or is this a problem they only got in freaking in bad teeth Britain?
I think it's important to, eat your fruits and freaking vegetables. I mean, the guy started losing his sight, so I would have recommended him some sort of a carrot or maybe, because carrots are supposed to help with your eyesight. I think in this day and age, we got to be more, we can't just stick to fast food, and we got to make healthier options available for everybody.
Is it possible that you could just eat a rabbit instead of eating a carrot and then assume that you'll get the nutrients because the rabbits only eat freaking carrots, and then you basically eating a carrot if you eat a rabbit?
Well, actually,
or are you suggesting the carrot so that he can freaking put it in his freaking rear?
Yeah.
Like you and freaking your
Sunjay.
freaking boy, Sunjay, your freaking boyfriend.
no, I wasn't recommending either of those things. And actually, I heard that carrots to rabbits are like a cake. They don't live off of carrots. They have other sort of food. Carrots are sweet to rabbits.
No, that simply isn't freaking true.
Yeah.
That's what I read.
That's well, you check the freaking sources because I know for a fact all freaking rabbits eat freaking carrots.
Yeah, but not the only.
No.
That's not only what they eat.
All they freaking eat. It's all they freaking eat.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure they have to eat other nutrients and vitamins.
Also, Doug, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you to shut up right there. Basically, I'm looking at this guy's freaking diet that caused him to go freaking completely blind, and he's eating freaking French fries, chips, and the occasional slice of freaking ham, and that sounds like your freaking diet.
Yeah.
French fries minus the freaking French fries and ham
Yeah. All you eat is freaking peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
and freaking chips.
Well, no, I don't eat. When we have dinner, we'll usually have a vegetable, and we will have a carb like a rice or maybe a mashed potato or something. So, I mean, I know a lot about chips and French fries and fast food and things like that, but I don't really eat it that regularly.
Do you know that in freaking Britain, when they say, "Would you like a pudding after your dinner?" that just means dessert. It doesn't necessarily mean freaking pudding. If I went there and they offered me freaking pudding, and then I said, yeah, sure, and then they said, what kind of pudding would you like? And then I said, chocolate, vanilla, just give me some pudding, I don't care. And then they come back with a freaking slice of freaking cake or a pie, a vanilla freaking pie.
Well, yeah,
I'd be freaking disappointed because I thought I was going to get freaking pudding.
over in Britain, I think pudding is a type of cake. And it can't be too freaking stodgy.
It just means freaking dessert.
No, I watched the freaking Great British Bake Off with my freaking wife, and they talk about freaking pudding, and it's a freaking segment on the show.
This is not good freaking radio.
Why? Because I know about freaking pudding in Britain, and you don't? You just think it's freaking dessert?
What was the word that you said? Stodgy?
Yeah, it's too stodgy. They say that all the freaking time.
I knew a guy in freaking high school named freaking Stodgy.
Sandy the Sandman Farkas, where was freaking Stodgy from, and what did he freaking die of?
Oddly enough, he is freaking dead. Could never tell where freaking Stodgy was from. What was really difficult to freaking pinpoint where he was. As far as I know, he didn't freaking speak a freaking lick of English. Very nondescript freaking facial features. Man, and then how did he die? Well, to be honest with you, he freaking offed himself. A few years back.
That's freaking hilarious.
He was freaking hilarious. I used to get freaking Glabo and freaking Stodgy, and you would mash up a whole bunch of gunk on a freaking lunch tray, and they would freaking eat it up. But freaking Stodgy would put up a little bit of fried. Glabo was just freaking scarf it down.
Yeah. And our hearts pour out to the family of Stodgy and Glabo. Geez Louise, down on my knees. You will be missed, but your presence always brings a freaking smiles to weakers and tweakers and thrill seekers in the panel. Last week, The Independent reported on the growing popularity of vending machines that sell sausages and other barbecued meats in Germany. For Germans living outside major cities, vending machines have become a go-to option for late-night snacking. Many butchers in rural German areas now offer vending machines that are stocked with bratwurst, bockwurst, barbecue meats, and even potato salad. These small-town butchers and delis are turning to vending machines to supplement their sales during off hours, boosting sales and allowing late-night German diners the traditional Deutschland feast. First of all, I want to talk about this. Doug Jordan, why don't you take it to the freaking sports desk? What is the best type of sausages out there on the freaking market today? The bockwurst, the bratwurst, or is there something better that maybe you like eating more? And I'm not talking about freaking Sanjay's tiny little freaking sausage. Now, let's keep it to the sports desk.
Yeah, I wasn't going to even... I don't even know why you brought that up, because Sanjay and I are just freaking friends. And he's the co-host of my radio show, Doug Knows Best, on WAYO.
Okay. Just, could you stick to the freaking the sports desk?
Yeah. Sausages. I freaking love sausage. I like Italian sausage. I like the spicy Italian sausage. The mild one's okay too. Honestly, my favorite kind of sausage I think would be a Cajun sausage, spiced a little bit differently. It's got a lot of heat to it on the front end, and it's got a lot of heat to it on the back end too, if you know what I'm talking about.
What about Sunjay's sausage?
I mean, he said in.
I bet you like Sunjay sausage on your freaking back end.
Yeah, no. Like I said before, he's just a friend and the co-host of my show. Doug Knows Best.
Freaking spicy off the freaking tip and freaking.
Okay, so now I'm starting to understand you just wanted to ask me about sausage so you could freaking make jokes like this.
Okay, so let's move on from the sausage talk because that's freaking grossing me out. Other foods that vending machines should sell.
What do you think? What I think?
Well, I was thinking it'd be freaking hilarious if maybe they sold fish and then you were out of a freaking job because people just got their freaking raw fish out of a freaking vending machine.
Why do you want me to be out of a freaking job? Why would anybody want me to be out of a job?
It's freaking great radio.
Yeah, but I loan everybody freaking money when they're in trouble.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, no, we need to make sure you stay freaking employed.
Yeah, especially since you owe Tadia and freaking Sandy the Sandman freaking Farkas quite a good deal of money, and you're never gonna pay it back if you lose that freaking job. So you're right. Strike one for me. I don't get circle, doesn't get the square, even though I'm not freaking playing. So what are other foods that vending machines should sell that would be interesting and fun for people here in the United States of America and not in Nazi Germany?
Maybe a chicken pot pie.
Can of freaking beans.
Yeah.
Maybe some freaking salsa.
Yeah.
Maybe some soup vending machine.
Soup. I love freaking soup.
Yeah. How would that freaking work? You just pour out of it?
Yeah, like the coffee freaking vending machines, it just freaking squirts out. You just hold it down a freaking cup and just freaking squirt it out. Or if you want to be like freaking Pauly Shore and stick your freaking mouth underneath the freaking nozzle and freaking have that freaking soup just freaking squirt directly into your freaking mouth.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, but it would probably be too hot to freaking burn your mouth.
It would definitely be freaking too hot, Doug. Very good.
Now, what about something along the lines of like a chocolate fondue, a chocolate fountain that is a vending machine, and then you get all your freaking, and then you can get the chocolate. Then it's like a fondue,
like a hot fudge dispenser.
What the freaking heck are you talking about?
I'm talking about freaking chocolate fondue, or like a chocolate freaking water fountain, like a chocolate fountain.
Okay, what is the difference between freaking hot fudge and chocolate fondue?
One is made out of freaking chocolate. The other one is made out of fudge.
I'm pretty sure one of them is actually freaking fondue.
Yeah,
but isn't fondue cheese, or is that the type of freaking food it is?
I have absolutely no idea.
Couldn't freaking tell you.
Never been in. Maybe, Weakers, Tweakers, Thrill Seekers. If you go to the freaking Doug Jordan 9/11 Barbecue Memorial, yep, you guessed it. We will have a freaking chocolate and a cheese fondue fountain, and we will find out the freaking difference. And also, we might have some freaking hot fudge for you if you show up. If you show up freaking late enough, or I mean early enough, before freaking Doug and Sunjay basically eat it all. Use it all on their bodies. Or
why would I do that? That sounds freaking disgusting.
Last week, Texas passed a new law banning the transfer of unsolicited nude photos on dating apps and elsewhere on the internet, according to the Associated Press. The new law that tackles the issue of so-called cyber flashing is the brainchild of a collaboration between Representative Morgan Meyer of Dallas and Austin-based dating app company Bumble. The law effectively makes the electronic transmission of unwanted explicit content a Class C misdemeanor and carries a fine of $500.
Basically, what this freaking reminds me of is freaking Doug Jordan's freaking character in freaking Biohacker, who is also a freaking cyber flasher. He basically what he does, he's a freaking cyber freaking terrorist, but he terrorizes people with freaking pictures of his freaking cyber freaking dick.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
I thought I was a freaking troll.
Yeah, but the troll dies in every single movie, and then we're gonna have to freaking troll dies at the beginning of the freaking first one. Troll dies before he even freaking says one freaking word.
You're a freaking serial freaking cyber flasher. And how is this gonna fare for your character in the movie now that it's illegal in freaking Texas?
Well, why do I gotta play the freaking cyber flasher?
You're the only one who's willing to show your freaking in the movie.
Why? Since when have I been willing to show my freaking in a movie?
It's in the freaking contract that I made you sign that night that I hid underneath your bed and discovered that there was another guy under your bed, but he wasn't hiding under there. He was trapped under there and inside of a freaking little box.
Yeah, and I asked him, go ahead and freaking add a little addendum in there for me. And he did, and so now you have to freaking show your freaking in Biohacker.
Yeah, we just put it across the freaking board. For Weakers and Tweakers out there who might not know what freaking Biohacker is, it's a freaking Space Odyssey movie, a freaking science fiction film, a 3-parter, maybe even a freaking 4-parter, and maybe even a freaking quintuplet. Because, geez Louise, guess what? We're going to make a bunch of these freaking movies, and if you guys want to hear more about it, go ahead and call 513-914-6201 and ask us to read scenes that we have prepared for you, and that will be coming freaking soon. Doug Jordan, how do you feel, Tadia, because you are one of the closest people with Tadia on the show, how would he feel about this new law in Texas, and should he go to Texas as his next sexual destination for having sex? Because I know Tadia has said before that he likes sending freaking nudes.
Yeah, I mean, then
that's probably how he met freaking Evan Dawson.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Tadia has always been pretty, unfortunately, forward. At least the advice that he gives on the radio. So maybe he should freaking avoid Texas, or else he's gonna get in freaking trouble.
Yeah. Tadia, if you're out there, freaking stay away from freaking Texas, because the state is not freaking for you. Either way, Sandy the Sandman Farkas, I was having a little freaking trouble with this one, with some of the names in there. I was wondering if you would read it for us. It's going to be freaking hilarious.
All right, yeah, it would absolutely be my freaking pleasure. Last week, a 69-year-old man from central Thailand is wanted by the... First of all, that doesn't freaking make a lick of sense. Last week, it is wanted... Well, all right. A 69-year-old man from central Thailand is wanted by the police after he allegedly shot and killed a childhood classmate during a high school reunion, according to Metro. Holy Lord. Freaking Thanapat Anakeskri, Thanapat Anakeskri, Thanapat Anakreski was witnessed opening fire on a former classmate and childhood bully during school reunion event in, Ang Thong, central Thailand. After enjoying a freaking scrumptious buffet featuring wine, Thai food, and ice cream, Thanapat confronted his bully, confronted his former bully, Suthat Kozayamat, Suthat Kozayamat, Thanapat accused the 69-year-old of bullying him when the two were just freaking 16. After freaking Suthat, who worked as a tailor, refused to acknowledge that he bullied the former Navy officer, Thanapat pulled out a freaking handgun and demanded an apology. Suthat refused and was shot and killed, and then Thanapat ran away. According to the organizer of the event, According to the organizer of the event, Tuain Clacken, Thanapat would often get drunk and lament about his anger concerning the bullying he underwent at the hands of Suthat. If anyone has any information about the whereabouts of Thanapat please call freaking 513-914-6201. That's our freaking hotline, and we'll help freaking them find him.
Yeah, this is a freaking heart-wrenching story, because nobody likes a freaking bully, but nobody wants to see one get shot to death when he's already 69 years old in the twilight of his freaking fading life. Doug Jordan.
Especially at a freaking high school reunion, too. The thing about freaking high school reunions is they're supposed to be freaking fun. You're supposed to see old freaking friends. You're supposed to freaking finally freaking talk to your freaking crush who you had. She was a freaking cheerleader and you were a freaking loser, freaking barely, almost a freaking and you think to yourself, finally, this is my freaking moment. I'm going to freaking tell her how I really feel because I'm freaking successful on the radio. And then you have one too many freaking drinks and you freaking blow the whole thing. Yeah. But you don't freaking kill anybody. You don't freaking shoot your freaking best friend.
Yeah. Doug Jordan, what would you like to say to all the bullies out there so that you can avoid taking violent action against them when it becomes your turn to go to your 50th freaking high school reunion? Because I think it'd be better just to get that expression out vocally rather than taking violent action. So why don't you go ahead and just take this moment to say what you have to say, get everything off your chest, and then we can begin the healing process. Let those wounds finally heal. Because you got to get the basically you got to get the freaking virus, the virus that has taken over your freaking body and your mind, out of your freaking body and your mind before those wounds can finally close. Because right now I'm looking at you, I see a freaking gaping hole. And it was left by those things that those bullies said and did. So why don't you just go ahead and clear the air, say what you need to say.
And feel free to freaking name names as well. Let's go ahead and put those guys on freaking blast.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be upset when I say this, but I didn't really get bullied in high school. I pretty much got along with everybody.
There's no possible way.
I mean, everybody liked me. I liked pretty much everybody. You know, I could see a lot of good in a lot of the people, you know.
If you were freaking homeschooled by your freaking parents, I would still imagine you being freaking bullied.
Yeah, no, I
locking you up in a locker, pouring milk on your freaking hair. It's just your freaking parents doing it.
I mean, can I ask you, were you guys freaking bullied?
Tremendously. Every freaking day.
Can't freaking remember.
Okay, Taylor, what would you say to your bully?
I would say try that again on me now that I'm a freaking grown man and I have one of my freaking best friends is a freaking firebug, and see what freaking happens. And don't even think about going to a freaking high school reunion with me, because I'll freaking get you. I'll get you freaking good. Maybe not as freaking good as freaking Tharnapart at Nursi and got freaking Kulong or jeez, what was Suthat.
Suthat.
That's freaking hilarious. Those freaking names.
Yeah, sometimes I look at those and I go, I can't even freaking believe it. Sometimes I look at that and I go, how do you freaking say that?
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, on freaking radio, you just gotta freaking go for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta plunge right freaking through.
Yeah, you did a pretty good job, I'd say.
Thanks, Doug.
Yeah.
Doug, when's your freaking high school reunion?
I think I got three more years. I got one coming up.
Oh, 20.
Yeah, my
20-year reunion.
Jeez Louise.
That's freaking hilarious. So for weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers that might be in the graduating class of freaking Doug Jordan, watch out. He's coming for you in a few years. I honestly, that bucket list you got going, start freaking checking some things off that freaking list, because Doug Jordan is a freaking dangerous man. Last week, an Australian woman bled to death after being pecked in her leg while she was collecting eggs at her home, according to Newsweek. The 76-year-old woman, unnamed woman, was pecked in her lower left leg, which caused her to hemorrhage. She collapsed and died. According to a case study published by the journal Forensic Science, Medicine, and Pathology, the woman suffered from high blood pressure, diabetes, and varicose freaking veins. Her blood was also said to have too much fat in it, a condition known as freaking hyperlipidemia. Researchers point to vascular vulnerabilities to explain how such a small domestic animal was able to kill the woman. The woman got too much fat in her blood. You know, that's what caused a freaking death. Not to blame it on the chicken. What came first, the fat in the blood or the freaking chicken, is what I'd like to freaking know. And I think it was the freaking lady's freaking horrible freaking diet, eating too many freaking eggs. And geez Louise, is that gonna freaking happen to me, Doug Jordan?
Well, I mean, I think you pretty much answered it there. I mean, if you eat too many freaking eggs, you get freaking fat blood.
I've gone to the doctors and they've said I got freaking fat blood before. And that's why I don't go to the freaking doctors anymore, because they give me freaking worst freaking advice.
Like they say, maybe you should stop eating so many eggs?
And mayonnaise. They say, that's just eggs. And I say, let the experts on freaking mayonnaise talk about freaking mayonnaise, and let's the freaking guys who knows how to freaking use this freaking scalpel and a freaking stethoscope and a freaking endoscope for my rear freaking end talk about freaking my rear end and what the inside freaking looks like. But when it comes to the freaking what's going on with going in my freaking mouth, geez Louise, down my knees, nobody knows freaking better than me. And then he goes, you just told me how many freaking eggs you eat. And I go, that is freaking, to quote freaking Sandy the Sandman freaking Fargy, that is neither free here nor freaking there.
What did you just call me?
Sandy the Sandman freaking Fargus is what I tried to say. And I did my best. And we can't all freaking have names like Thula Fat and Anakashki and Twang Klang Kang.
Wait, but I'm sorry, but did you call me freaking Sandy Fargy?
I think he said Sandman, Sandy the freaking Fargy. I'm pretty sure is what he said.
Last week, a logger in Kulaba, Bilaran, geez Louise, that's not a freaking place.
This is what we were just freaking talking about.
Last week, a logger in Kulaba, Bilaran, said he decapitated his sleeping nephew while he himself was asleep and dreaming of cutting down a coconut tree, according to Coconut Mill Manila. 48-year-old Roger Pahi attacked the 30-year-old nephew, Eduardo Roquitos, after the two had been binge drinking. A co-worker of the suspect who had been drinking with the two witnessed the attack and alerted the authorities. When police arrived, the victim's head and hands had been cut off. Pahi is currently being charged with murder and awaits trial in Kaluba Municipal Police Station. Doug Jordan.
That's crazy to me that he could freaking go to sleep and then freaking think he was cutting down a freaking coconut tree and then freaking kill his nephew.
I think what Doug's trying to say is it is just freaking baloney that this guy's being freaking charged with anything.
Yeah.
The guy was freaking dreaming of freaking cutting down a freaking coconut tree, and he by accident chopped off his freaking nephew's head and freaking hands.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, basically, ladies and gentlemen of the freaking jury, think of it this way. If I have a dream that I am having the best bowel freaking movement of my freaking life, I'm sitting on a toilet and it is just coming right out of me and I don't even have to push. And then how many times do you have that freaking dream and then wake up and you have made a complete freaking mess of yourself and your freaking bed sheets? And if you were to charge me for every freaking time, if you were to give me even 1 year for every freaking time that happened, I'd be in there for the rest of my freaking life.
So you've over 50 times you've probably done that?
I've probably done that over a freaking 100 times. I could probably be in there for 3 consecutive freaking life sentences, if you know what I freaking mean. Luckily, that's not a freaking crime because the only person it hurts is me and myself and freaking I and the people that clean my sheets at the freaking group home.
When was the last time you freaking did this?
I think I did it. Well, I did this afternoon. I was taking a freaking nap, and I wasn't even totally asleep either. Either way, all's well that freaking ends well. Weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers, this has been a great freaking hilarious freaking show. But there's much work to be done because we have a great freaking party to plan, and you are all invited, every single one of you, near and freaking far. Doug Jordan, Sandy the Sandman Farkas, we are going to have a freaking blast. Sandy, why don't you go ahead and, as we're closing out the freaking show, tell attendees what they can expect from a freaking beautiful, hilarious freaking Doug Jordan barbecue. This one taking place on the memorial of freaking 9/11. Memorial Day of 9/11.
Yeah. All right, so any freaking guests attending another classic freaking Doug Jordan freaking barbecue, all I have to say to you is freaking buckle up because it's gonna be a freaking bumpy ride. Yeah. We're talking freaking fireworks. We're gonna get a freaking DJ. There's gonna be freaking barbecues, hot dogs, freaking hamburgers. There's gonna be freaking underage drinking. There's gonna be freaking live freaking performances. We're gonna freaking set some things on fire. We're building a freaking pool for this party. You're gonna kiss people. You're gonna freaking experiment freaking sexually. You're gonna get freaking laid. You're gonna freaking party. You're gonna freaking party your freaking pants off. And if you don't come, well then freaking put up your dukes because we're freaking coming for you.
Yeah, and there might even be a freaking petting zoo, like in the beginning of freaking Mrs. Doubtfire. We're going to bring a freaking petting zoo, and there's going to be a freaking donkey, and we're going to have a freaking giraffe and a freaking elephant, and we're going to have freaking monkeys all over freaking wreaking freaking havoc. And they're going to be, and those monkeys are going to be drinking, and they're going to be freaking having sex out in the freaking open, just like you are freaking welcome to do at Doug Jordan's 9/11 Memorial Barbecue.
And you get to look at freaking Mrs. Jordan, who is a freaking, oh my goodness.
Bombshell freaking goddess.
Yeah, you are going to freaking love this freaking woman. You're going to also get to hear the freaking comedic stylings of freaking Doug Jr., who Mike Doug Jr., who is not a funny boy, but he's freaking trying. Also, if you freaking slip him a little bit of freaking booze and a little bit of freaking weed, he'll be very happy with you.
Also, there's going to be a freaking mud pit next to the freaking pool.
Yeah.
And honestly, the pool might just end up being a freaking bigger freaking version of the mud pit.
If we don't freaking finish the pool, we're gonna freaking have 2 freaking mud pits. Also, I was on the phone with freaking Stu Gotts a week ago, and he told me that he was working on a freaking new magic trick, so we'll probably be able to get to see freaking that too.
Yeah. It's going to be freaking absolutely freaking hilarious. Weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers, we love you so freaking much. We're so freaking hot for you. And geez Louise, we'll see you at the freaking 9/11 freaking Memorial Barbecue at Doug Jordan's house. We'll be tweeting out the freaking address. It's coming. If you don't follow us on freaking Twitter, go ahead and call 513-914-6201. Find out where the freaking barbecue is. This is going to be a party and a barbecue you never want to freaking miss. Weakers, tweakers, thank you so much for freaking listening. Doug Jordan is to my freaking left. Doug, give him a little freaking promotion for the freaking barbecue as you're taking us out. We love you so freaking very much, and we'll see you freaking next week.
Yeah, please don't come to my house on Wednesday. I don't want to have to call the freaking cops, but I will.
Doug is freaking joking. Doug, what are you doing? Also, Doug, I know I said I could hop on the plane for you today.
This is going to be the greatest party of our freaking lives.